Pretty weird show, huh? Well, I guess life can be pretty weird altogether. My name is Matthew, and this is Story Time. I'm so excited for this segment and to share my work with you. I'm going to start landing the plane a bit with a little bedtime story. Or, well, a story, all the same. Let's see what we got here. Right. This one is a Greek tale. Classic, right? Not all of the stories I'm going to share are myths, but I wanted to start off with an oldie but a goodie. This is about Daphne the Naiad. Now, a naiad is a type of water nymph, a natural spirit that presides over the babbling brooks, flowing fountains, and other running waters. Local cults revere them as essential to life. Daphne was a naiad of the river Ladon. She spent her days whispering to the bubbles and chasing the freshwater fish up and down the streams. Her favorite tree to perch on was a laurel tree. She would perch above the humans, watching them giggle through the woods and play. The life of a naiad was a fluid life, filled with rain and steam and winter's ice. Then one day, the great lute-playing Olympian Apollo took note of her and became quite fixated. The Roman poet Ovid claims Apollo was struck by Cupid's arrow of love, the oldest excuse in the book. Apollo stood before the base of her favorite tree and pleaded for her hand. He played the lute and sang softly of her flowing hair, her flowery features, and her form. Giggling, she refused his advances. Upon this refusal, Apollo's soft, doting expression wrinkled into a sneer of cold contempt. "You will be my bride," he called out as he began scaling the tree. Now, this, for very good reason, freaked Daphne out. She's like, okay, yeah, I'm out of here, and begins spiriting across the island. She burrowed in the mud and blended in with the frogs. She turned to vapor and hung in the sky like a cloud. She dove into the water and sought purchase on the tongue of an oyster. But wherever she went, Apollo followed, using the light of the morning sun to seek her out even into the night. My life was once filled with foam from the fountain and the conversation with the canaries and doves. Now it is a constant flight, with constant fear, pursued by Apollo constantly, she lamented. And through the wood, she could hear him shout, "Daphne, my bride!" So Daphne crouched low and spoke with the soil. She prayed to the earth for protection from her pursuer. She sought peace and solidarity. And as Apollo broke through the tree line and gained sight of her, she lost sensation in her limbs. Coarse bark grew rapidly over her breasts. Her hair sprouted into leaves, her arms into thin branches. Her feet, so swift a moment ago, became rooted into the earth. And slowly, her face was lost in green and gold until only her glimmering beauty was left. Apollo stood before the newly formed laurel tree, disappointed but still undeterred. "If you will not be my bride, then you will be my tree, and I will use your branches to wreath my lute, my lure, and the locks of my hair." And he formed a crown with the laurel branches. Afterward, he dashed into the sky, seeking another beauty to pursue. And below stood Daphne, growing in solidarity with the other trees. I'm not sure why I think about that story so frequently. Perhaps it's because laurel wreaths are what we give the most prestigious people on Earth. It's a sacred symbol of the Olympians. It's that little symbol we see on DVD covers when the movies win an Emmy or an Oscar. Do they still make DVDs? I'm so excited to share my next story with you. I've been searching far and wide and have curated quite a collection. I'll bind them in this book so as to catalog them. You see, I consider myself a storyteller, and storytelling is an important job. We're here to entertain, to provoke, to comfort, to take you through the range of possible human experiences, and potentially even invent new ones. Some are proposing that AI will replace storytellers, that it's possible to break down stories into formulas and conventions that work every time, or at least enough of the time. I don't believe that it's possible for AI to create art. Although it is something to think about, artificial intelligence, art intelligence, they both are related to the word artifice, which is a form of deception or trickery. So perhaps it's possible to consider AI art in that it's mischievous. But the human condition is messy and contradictory and rooted in emotion. So it may be efficient, but is it art? I am a little nervous about the role of AI in the creative industry, though. Part of me feels compelled to prove to you the value of stories. So allow me to find the very best ones for you, to prove to you that perhaps we humble storytellers are not quite obsolete. Hope to see you in the next episode. And maybe the next time you watch the Olympics or see the laurel wreath adorned, think of Daphne. Think of where the wreath comes from. Think of rain and steam and winter's ice. Good night, everyone.